Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your hosts, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
All right, welcome to Gamertag Radio episode. I can't believe this is up happening though. What? 1100 here. This is your host Danny, and joining me this week we have Pete here. What's going on, Pete?
Oh wow, I came up first. What up? Good morning. Good afternoon.
What up, man?
How you guys doing?
Yeah, good. You look very happy. It looks nice and sunny over there.
It's just because it's bright, but it's kind of gray out here in Switzerland. It's really strange. Like over the last week, it's gone from, I think my wife posted something about this. It went from like extreme snow, like nonstop snow, to, I don't want to say summery weather, but it's, I guess in Fahrenheit, it's like 45, 48 degrees, all like overnight. Okay. So it went from super snow to super rain and kind of, yeah, I guess springtime-ish. But no, it's good. Good to be back on with you guys once again and talk some poop about video games.
Yeah, definitely. And also joining us is Paris. Look at that. He's smiling. He is in a good mood, man. He's been really happy this whole week. I wonder why.
Hey, good morning. Yeah. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the Super Bowl. There's nothing you can say or do to change my mood.
No, but it's good. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, man. Predictions. Yeah. You think it's going to be a close game or not really?
38-34. We're going to win.
There you have it, folks.
We're going to win.
There you hope, man. Miss Leo in full effect.
Hey, darling. This is certified psychic Miss Leo.
All right, everyone, head over to gamertagradio.com. Post your comments and feedback. Listen to our past episodes. You could also find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, and also post your review. And fan mail. We want some questions. Send it to us. All you have to do is this.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right. By the way, guys, my question of the week, where were you when Reggie Fils-Aimé posted that he was going to be on our show? Very soon, next month, for our 16th anniversary. The former president of Nintendo of America. Let's go with Pete. Where were you, Pete?
I was playing Cyberpunk 2077. I was just wrapping up some side missions that I had never done. I was clearing. Wait, no. Apologies. No, I was playing a game that we'll be talking about later today, The Medium.
Okay.
I was playing that. And I saw the tweet go through because my phone started just buzzing nonstop. And I was like, my phone never does this. What is this? And then I sent the message. I saw it. And then I sent the message to you in Paris. I was like, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, it's literally been nonstop. My phone just blows up all day long. Like for like the last week. Yeah. It's been insane just seeing the response. Some not so professional or some, I guess you would say, childish responses in there. For the most part, but I mean, it's huge. I know this has been a big thing for you. You've been working on trying to get Reggie on the show for 10 years now. I know we've had we've run into him like at E3 and things like that. Like seeing him up in the Nintendo booth, and it's like, oh, should we ask? Should we look and see? Yeah. And it's just never pans out. And like, here it is, a new year and another major interview to start off the year. It's fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait. And also, Paris, where were you when Reggie tweeted that?
I was actually in a Zoom meeting for work, and I just saw the Twitter notification pop up, and I was like, oh, okay, he did it. He said it, and then just went from there. Pete, pro tip. Don't read the comments because they're always going to be chaos. So I don't even read the. I'm at the point I don't even read the comments anymore on Twitter. But it's. I can't wait. For Reggie to come on. He's such a fascinating person in this industry to be able to talk to him and get his background and find out how he got to where he currently is going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we're going to have an official date once we have everything locked down, and I'm excited. I'm super excited to talk to him, man, because, I think, like you said, Paris, I know Reggie has an amazing story, man. How was it growing up in the Bronx, in New York City, working from different industries, because he used to also work at Viacom. That's how I think Jeff Keighley and him met, was during that time. And from there, he went to gaming. I mean, but he always been a huge gamer, too. I know one of the tweets he just posted yesterday that he's a huge fan of the Link to the Past, the Super NES. I think he was talking with Jimmy Fallon, which is one of the greatest Zelda games ever, man. Amazing. But I can't wait. Can't wait to talk to him, man. So, yeah, that's coming out very, very soon. Stay tuned for that. But on this episode, I want us to talk about the Medium. I know this game came out a couple of days ago, but I wanted us to take our time to play it. I finally finished Paris, because I know Paris and I were going back and forth about the game, and I just want to go from there, man. But let's go with Pete, because I know you were mentioning the Medium a couple minutes ago, man. So let's go from there, man. What are your thoughts about the Medium, the game?
So if you've been living in a box over the last, I guess, 6 months to a year, the Medium is how would you classify the Medium? I mean, it's psychological thriller, third person horror, right? But it's not an action RPG or a game. It's a lot of narrative driven action, not action, but saying narrative driven exploration, right? So that was one of the big surprises when I first started playing the game, that it wasn't going to be what I thought it was going to be, which is, something like Silent Hill or whatever, but it ended up being something similar. I don't know if you've ever played a game from Supermassive, Dark Pictures. It's very, very similar.
No, never played that.
It's a lot of story. You really have to get into the echoes that are dropped in the game, which actually gives you story and insight as to what's actually going on, the history of the game. I've been playing it on PC, so I don't have I didn't have my controller with me, so that first 3 or 4 hours of trying to play the game was a challenge. And I will say that this is a game that I really wish they'd have paid attention to the PC component of it. I know it's made for Xbox Series X, but if it's going to be released on a PC game, I really wish they would have given the option for better control schemes on keyboard and mouse. But having said that, I went through the first two times that I played the game. I stuck with the keyboard, right? I wanted to see if I could just get used to it. I ended up going downstairs and grabbing the remote control for it so I could play it on controller. That said, I really like the story. The writing is done rather well. The audio is creepy as hell. There's been moments in here. There was actually a part last night where I was playing the game. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock last night, and I was getting creeped out. And not going to spoil it, I jumped up and I may have screamed like a girl because I got scared. But that's why you play games like this, right? It's for those visceral moments where you get taken out of your seat, and it's pretty fun. I've not completed it yet. I think I'm near the end. That said, I do have an issue with the camera. Maybe that's just because I'm not used to playing games like this very, very often. But I did have an issue with the camera, and I'm enjoying it so far.
All right, cool. Good to know, man. Yeah, I think this is I really enjoy Bloober games. Like I play their past ones of like Layers of Fear 1 and 2, Blair Witch, huge fan. And I just love their audio of all their games with the music, because of the music and also the voice acting. Like this one is the best audio from their games, from their past games that they had. And I was reading a tweet actually last night. Rihanna was mentioning that to me. She was like, "Oh man, look what the composer of Ori said." He said he also worked on Halo and other games too. He said that this is by far the best audio since Hellblade, and I have to agree with him because I was having a conversation with with the dev team. You're gonna listen to it here on the show later on, and they said that Troy Baker sent them his audio, right? And the audio engineer was like, they were like, "Hey, why he sent this with sound effects and everything?" And they were like, "No, that's actually his voice. There's no mix down. There's no audio effects, nothing. That's actually his voice." So when you hear that, most of it is him doing the sound. It's freaking phenomenal, awesome. But yeah, like you said, I really enjoyed the story. I do have a couple issues with some of the cameras. Is like sometimes it's really difficult to see where to go. But I like those type of games, those third party view, third person view. I mean, this reminded me a lot of the old school Silent Hill, Resident Evil, a little bit of Alan Wake and Control. I like that a lot, because usually their games have always been first person. So I was curious to see how they were going to manage to work on this game, So it came out really good, man. Really, really good. So I'm enjoying it. And I finished it actually like 2 days ago because I was stuck in one puzzle that I just couldn't figure it out. And it was like the most simplest thing, though. But there's certain things that there's certain things is really it could get frustrating in the game, man. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really good. I enjoyed the story. It was so awesome. And so, Paris, what about you, man?
Yeah, so I talked about this already on Kind of Funny Xcast. You go check out the review there. But I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. And my thing was, I did feel the story, while there's a compelling story there, and I feel like they've created this universe that I want to see more of, story felt kind of all over the place for me. I noticed it's marketed as a quote unquote scary game. I don't think it's that scary, to be honest with you. I think this was more of a narrative driven mystery type game, obviously set in the split world. I always feel like when I talk about the medium, it comes off negative that I didn't like it. It is not that I don't like it. This is a AA game. I think people need to understand that this is not some big AAA experience. I feel like the team has done an amazing job with this, except for some nitpicky type things. Overall, I did like the puzzle structure, but I felt just like you brought up, Danny, you got stuck. Like, you remember, obviously I called you on one I got stuck on early on, and it turned out to be something so simple that I had already solved the puzzle, but because I didn't do one little nitpicky thing, I couldn't advance. So I had to backtrack and then I could advance. So it's little things like that I feel like if they were to go back into this world again and do something else with the medium universe, I feel like they can improve upon. I was okay with the controls. I mean, it's just that classic. It's not really tank controls, but very similar to that. So that didn't bother me. Like you said, the sound and audio reproduction was fantastic in it. Probably my biggest, if I had a gripe, would be there's a section in the middle of the game that really shines with the dual worlds and just the way that you puzzle solve and get through that. I loved it. I thought, oh, here we go. We're about, like, this is going to be the rest of the game. I'm going to love it. And ultimately, it seems like you're only doing the dual world stuff maybe for about 25% of the game. And that was kind of a letdown a little bit. Again, going back to the puzzle structure, like, even if you, like, there was some scenarios where I figured it out, but it still made me go through each step of the puzzle to be able to solve it. I couldn't just go ahead and solve it and be done. I had to go back. I had to go find this. I had to go find, stuff like that. And again, without spoiling, there is the one infamous section where you need a passcode, and Danny figured it out. I would have never figured it out. Like, I literally wind up guessing how to do it, and the what they wanted you to do, they were not forcing you to do that throughout the game. So then to all of a sudden have you do something like that, I was like, come on, I would have never figured it out, because that just wasn't the structure of the game. So overall, I enjoyed it, but I would not recommend anyone to spend $50 on it right now. I just wouldn't. I think, to me, this is the absolute poster child for Xbox Game Pass, because it is on Game Pass day one. And if you're already a subscriber to that service, absolutely go experience it. it's around a 10-hour game or so you can do it in one or two settings if you so choose. And I think you will enjoy it. But if I spent $50 on it, I might have a little regret right now. And that's just being honest. But at the same time, I do want to see Bloober Team revisit this. I think they've done enough great things with this universe that I think they could take some lessons learned from this first attempt and really improve upon it in a second one. Like I said, the fact that this is a Series X exclusive, PC/Series X exclusive, that does take advantage of the SSD to do the dual worlds at the same time. I wanted more of that. I just felt like we didn't get enough of that to quote unquote justify it. Also on a hardware aspect, I did play on PC. I did play on the Series X, and I also played on the Series S just to test it out. And ironically enough, the S loads the fastest out of all three. But I think that has to do with the fact that it's not loading 4K assets, so to speak. But like I said, enjoyable. Just some nitpicky things I wish they would improve upon. But, if you do play it, it's absolutely worth your time to experience it.
Yeah, that's the thing that was reading online. Like, people felt like Xbox was like forcing them to get Game Pass if they want to play a game like this. Like, no, it's an option thing, man. If you want to, yeah, there were people saying that because it's like, why? I don't need Game Pass. I'd rather just buy the games. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? You have the option to buy, but also if you're a subscriber, I think you should definitely try this out and check it out because it's kind of like, it's like all of us, we're subscribed to, streaming services like Disney Plus, Netflix. You have the option to watch those shows if you want. Or series, they're not telling you have to sign up here if you want to watch it. No, it's optional. Like if you want to do that, go for it, man. So I just want to bring that up because I that was the common theme when the game came out a couple of days ago. That came up a lot. But here's the thing: that's not the only game that's going to be exclusive for Xbox, and it's also going to be on Game Pass. There's going to be a lot more coming out this year. So this is the beginning stages of Game Pass. I think we're going to see more and better content there, man. Some of them are going to work out, some of them not. But look, man, as a fan of Bloober, I'm happy to see that Blair Witch and also a game like this is available on Game Pass, man. I've been having a great time playing it nonstop. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait for the future. I think it's going to be really, really good.
Also, the other great part of it being on Game Pass, because this has always been the big question, not just for myself but other people, is how do games succeed inside of the Game Pass program? They've already made up their money in production and marketing, so that's a fantastic get for them. That's a fantastic opportunity for them, and it shows that a service like this actually does work. Now, would you see something like this work for a AAA title? Because I know, Paris, you mentioned, I guess you'd say it's a 2A title, or it's not a AAA title.
No, I mean it's a small team that made this. They didn't have some big, huge budget, 500 people making this game. Exactly. That's my point. That's why I say it's not a AAA title. This is a AA game. It's a quality AA game, but you have to also set your expectations that look. They're resource limited on certain things. So of course they're going to take risk and they're going to take shortcuts on certain things. So as I'm playing it, that is in the back of my head to go, okay, I get why you did this. I get why you did that, kind of thing. Right.
Yeah. Anything else from that, Pete? I
was just going to say, it's just, it goes to show that it is a successful model to follow. Question will be, will those AAA titles succeed as well? And by I mean succeed, will they be able to hit that break-even point this quickly?
Well, I think on that, it really comes down to I think even with Game Pass is a nice way to allow us, the consumer, to obviously consume these games and discover them. But like when you're saying a AAA game, let's say, I don't know, Far Cry 6. Just pretend it's on Game Pass day one and all that. But let's say Far Cry 6 isn't great. Let's say it's a 5 out of 10 or something like that. I think they would struggle. And I think that's a case where, like, people have the detractors of Game Pass. The common thing I see online is Xbox is going to basically make devs lazy, that they don't have to put out these quality experiences, because all it is, oh, you just sub and you just consume it, but you're going to lessen the experience of these games. I don't think that service can survive if that happens at the AAA level, because people are still going to want their quality gaming experiences. So you can't half-ass some AAA game and then excuse it away and say, oh, it's on Game Pass, that's okay. No. That's why I specifically say, even with the medium, if I had to go spend $50 on it, I don't think I would. I think this is worth more. About if this was a $30 game, to me, that, okay, I would think that is worth my money at launch, and I would spend that and go do it. But because of Game Pass, it allows me to not even have to think about that, and I still get to enjoy the game, because I think it is an enjoyable game. Look, the world we're in right now, $50 is a lot of money. So if I'm going to spend that for what essentially is a one-time experience, because there's really no replay value in the medium. Once you experience it, you're done, right? So that's why I say, I don't know if I would spend $50 on this right away. But then there's other games that have multiplayer, things like that. Of course, you have replayability, you put hundreds of hours into. Now, that changes the narrative. But yeah, I don't think Game Pass saves AAA games by excusing it away to say, oh, it's just on Game Pass, that's okay. No, that's not the case. Like Halo Infinite better be freaking good. The Xbox can't come out and go, oh, it's on Game Pass, it's okay if it's a 6 out of 10. You're a sub. It's okay. No. Halo Infinite has to be worth my $60 at launch, regardless if I'm a Game Pass sub or not. So.
Mm-hmm. No, one thing I also want to mention: the composer of the medium also worked on the Silent Hill games from back in the day. So he's a legendary composer. So that's why I've been bringing up a lot about the soundtrack and the music and everything in the game, because it's so good. So if you have Spotify, the music is available there. You can listen to it and everything. And yeah, that's for me. That's it from about the medium.
I would like to see a studio. Mm-hmm. And by a studio, I mean like a TV studio, like whether it be Netflix or Hulu or whomever. I would like to see maybe like a 2 or 3 season thing where because this game has that kind of setup, right? Where you could have the main character, Marianne, or, whatever, go about helping spirits. Because at the end of the day, that's basically what it is, right? It's addressing the traumas of people who have suffered through, really bad experiences. So I think that you could see this in a TV series type, thing on whether it be on Netflix or whomever, where Marianne goes about helping out other, spirits in the spirit realm, getting through their traumas. It'd be a really cool opportunity. So I don't know if it happens. I'll take a point or two off the deal.
Well, yeah. That's why I say, again, there's definitely more stories to be told in this universe, right? So that's why I hope at least them as a team, they revisit it in some capacity. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll leave it at that. But there's potential here for sure. I'm glad this game exists. Let's put it that way. So hopefully people, like I said, if you're on Game Pass or you want to go spend the money to just outright purchase it, definitely play it, experience it, and make up your own mind. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else besides this? I'm probably gonna play the interview right now. The podcast.
One last thing, and this just kind of leads in this overall discussion, because I tweeted it out this week, and of course the people that love to just troll, immediately seized on the medium, but it wasn't about the medium that I tweeted this. It's not every game is going to be a AAA experience, right? Not every game is going to be a 10 out of 10, because, there was controversy with the medium score, all that stuff too. But not everything's going to be this big score. Not everything's this AAA $200 million budget experience. Like, I've realized over the last couple months, some of my favorite gaming experiences have been at that indie and AA level, right? And you can't, to me, it's weird to say, but I feel like people need to understand that innovation in this industry happens at that level, right? You don't take the huge risk at the AAA level out the gate. Those risks happen at the AA level, at the indie level. So when you see games like this come out, that's why a Game Pass is so important, in my opinion, moving forward, because it's going to allow us to experience more of these indie and AA games, because there's going to be that discoverability there, right? And the medium, like I said before, I think the medium is a great example of this. It is worth your time to play it. It is. But at the same time, I think a lot of people might potentially pass on this if it wasn't for a service like Game Pass. But I just feel like as gamers, we don't always need to, it has to be a 9 out of 10. It has to be this huge Gears 5 Cyberpunk 2077 level game. Sometimes a game like Spiritfarer is perfect. Donut Counting, as an example, is perfect. You know what I mean? Just to experience those kind of things. And you see these unique narratives and storytellings and gameplay mechanics that you might not see at the AAA level, because honestly, they've invested so much money in that game. They're afraid to take a risk like that. Bloober Team was able to take this risk because they're a smaller team with a smaller budget. And like you said, Pete, they already made their money back. Good for them. That's what it should be all about. So now they can go make another game that they want to make, right? Because this one paid off for them. Damn what the score is and damn what we think. They're able to continue to make the games and tell the stories that they want. And I think that's very important. Like I said, at the indie developer, like what's the game you're playing right now, Danny? I haven't played it yet on Game Pass.
Oh,
the
Cyber Shadow.
That's another great example, right?
Yeah.
We need more of those games. We absolutely do. I mean, if any, look, maybe I'm scarred with what's happened recently at the AAA level, but you know, I'm sick of the overpromising and under-delivering at that level. I want to see more of these smaller studios with unique ideas thrive. And I think a service like Game Pass helps. I think we need to stop worrying so much about scores in games. You know, they're obviously important because you need to gauge stuff, but you know, look at what a smaller team is doing, and sometimes that's what matters more. If that makes sense, I'm all over the place, but just want to say that.
No, I 100% agree with you, man. And this is why I want to support a game like the Medium. There's not a lot of games out there like that. There's not that many horror games. Back in the days, we used to see that a lot. Yeah, but I feel like it's been going downhill. Like not that many. You know, it's only been Capcom with the Resident Evil series, Bethesda with Evil Within. You know, but Bloober been releasing horror games now for a couple of years, man. So we need to support when we see a game that's like that. There's not that many out there. We should go and support either through Game Pass or just buy it if you want. You know, and that's why I'm always pushing and talking about that game, man. Because I just love those type of genres, man. We're missing out, you know. So I can't wait for the future to see what we're gonna see from them. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, exactly. I agree.
But you're right. You're right about that, Paris, because honestly, the past few months, I've been having more fun with indie games, man, and AA games.
I agree.
You know, Cyber Shadow is amazing too, and it's pretty tough. It's from the developers that made Shovel Knight. Highly, highly recommend for you to play that game.
I'll even say this, and this is at the AAA level. Look at Gears 5 Hive Busters. Just that little standalone DLC, 3-hour experience or whatever, where the Coalition basically kind of sort of took a risk. They did it different than they did with the main game. I think it's great. I want to see more stuff like that. Not everything has to be a 100-hour experience, right, to be enjoyable. You know, so yeah, man. And I know I'm shilling for Game Pass. Hell, we got literally a segment on XCast where we just literally shill for Game Pass. But the point is that service to me, as it matures over the next few years, is going to be very important because it's going to allow us to discover so many games that we never would have played otherwise. And I think that's needed in this industry because there's so many talented developers out there that are doing these unique things that aren't necessarily at the AAA level that we should experience and we should play. So again, I hope the service thrives. I think it's great. And I think, like I said before at the top, a game like the Medium is the absolute poster child for it. So
yeah. No, agreed. I know there's people that just don't have the time to play games that has 100 hours of stuff in there.
Yeah.
They just want to play games that, 2 hours experience. You'll go to the service and download a game like Dade County, Donut County.
Yeah.
And that game, 2 hours long, and I had an amazing time playing that game.
And it's a great story too.
Oh, yes. Really good.
It's a great story.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it came out last year for multiple platforms, and I just slept on it, man. But when I saw it was available there, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to download it. A lot of people have been talking about it. Let me check it out. And I had a blast, man. So, but another thing I want to bring up very quick before I play the interview is the Yakuza series. Everything is already available there too. So I want to try it out. And I played a little bit of Zero. I think I'm going to go back now that not finished, but almost complete with the Yakuza Like a Dragon. I want to start the series. Everybody's telling me it's so good.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff and Brittany always bringing it up on Twitter. I got to start playing, man.
Yeah, that's I tweeted it out the other day. That's my 2021 project. I'm going to just play the Yakuza games, like a slow burn over the year. And we'll see where we're at the end of the year. Because even a lot of people warned me, like, hey, don't try it and just back to back them because, you know, you'll burn yourself out. But I'm starting with Zero, and I'm just going to work my way through it throughout the year and see how far I get.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the interview here in the podcast, and we'll be right back after this.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
All right, Gamertag Radio, let's talk about this week's sponsor for Gamertag Radio, and that's Oregon State University Ecampus. As a Gamertag Radio listener, you know what it's like to be part of an engaging online community. And at Oregon State University Ecampus, creating that type of environment for students around the world is what they do best. So let me talk about Oregon State University. It's an innovative provider of distant education with over 80 programs to choose from. Advance your career by earning an in-demand degree in fields like computer science, data analytics, or business. I even had a conversation with them. They also teach video production, content creation, and so much more. This is your opportunity to learn more about Oregon State University eCampus. Plus, all the online programs or classes are developed by the same world-class faculty who teach on campus at OSU. You will get to join a worldwide network of students as you pursue your degree online. Like Mark Moore, who found his teaching career rewarding, but wanted to educate people on a broader scale. After earning a computer science degree online, he's teaching web development to the next generation of tech professionals. You, Gamertag Radio listener, can be part of Oregon State's online community too. And here's how. Do you want to know more about it? See for yourself why Oregon State eCampus is consistently ranked in the nation's top 10 by U.S. News and World Report. So, Gamertag Radio listeners, this is what you have to do. If you're listening to right now, do your favorite podcast app. At the bottom of the description of this episode, there's a link there. Make sure to click that link if you would like to know more about it. And also, this at the same time will support Gamertag Radio. If not, you could type it yourself. Visit ecampus.oregonstate.edu/GTR to find the program that fits you best. Again, I mentioned about video editing, content creation, business. There's so many things you could learn from. And I think you should definitely take advantage of this. Type the link and just read all the information, and maybe this will convince you to check it out. Once again, ecampus.oregonstate.edu/GTR. And I just want to say thank you to Oregon State University eCampus for supporting Gamertag Radio.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
Hello, my name is Jacek Ziemba and I'm a producer at The Medium.
Yeah, and my name is Wojciech Piejko and I'm a lead designer here at Bloober.
Well, first of all, congratulations with the release of the game. I'm a huge fan of you guys. I played, Layers of Fear, Part 1 and 2, also Blair Witch. But this game seems very, very different, man, compared to the other games, man. What was the reason why you wanted to go to that route instead of the traditional past games that you guys worked on?
Oh, thank you very much. Of course, it's flattering for us. So thank you for playing. And in terms of Medium, this project was here at Bloober even before me and Jacek start working here. So the idea came to crazy minds of our bosses, Piotr and Marlena Babieno. And at first, I think it was like 8 or 9 years ago. And the first iteration was supposed to be a platformer game, I think.
Okay.
And then the project evolved into a 3D dual world game. But those iteration was with, let's say, normal cameras, because in Medium we are right now using fixed camera angles. Yeah, so that iteration also didn't work super well because players got troubles with paying attention with the both words, and when player was rotating the camera and two words were rotating, it causes some kind of a motion sickness in some players.
Yeah.
So the project was here at Bloober. The technology was there to display two words, but the technology wasn't so powerful back then. So the game had to be made with super simplified graphics, for example, like a cell shading or something. And the long story short is that after we finished The Observer, our boss Peter gathered us and say, okay, guys, here is our old prototypes and stuff like this. I would really like to pull it off to create this crazy game with the two words. And here are some fundamentals of the story. But of course, you guys can, take your own take on it. And we did.
Yeah, so you ask why the game is different because of the two worlds. Yeah, well, we thought, okay, how we can create two worlds at the same time gameplay, and we thought, okay, FPP, oh no, motion sickness again. Yeah, a TPP with free camera, no motion sickness again. Yeah, and you will not focus on two worlds at the same time. Yeah. So we thought, okay, it should be like TPP, but with semi-fixed cameras, with more cinematic experience, and with more, old Japanese survival horror vibes that we are both really love. And it came from this, like we know, okay, this game, because of this feature of this type of gameplay, it needs to be really, really different from everything we've done before.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of, like I said, your games, and I noticed that there was it reminded me a lot of the old games from back in the days, horror games of like Resident Evil and a little bit of Silent Hill, and I felt like also had like some new ones too from Remedy games, Alan Wake and Control. So when I played, I was like, man, this is pretty cool, man. But I love the changes where you go to different worlds. Can you explain how the concept came about from that too? Because that's a very new way to play the horror games.
Yes, so of course we were, trying to, when we knew that we need to deliver the game that supports the world, and that was the main topic of the game, because with every game we build, we are building around like a central motive. So for example, Layers of Fear that you mentioned was a game, of course, it's a spooky house with a painter, but at its heart, it's a story about your sacrificing your family for work, as the painter did. And with the medium, we knew that there will be a game about the perspectives, about different points of view, about the duality. So even with the gameplay, we knew that we want to build on that. Yeah. So we built a game that flows between words. So you always have to do something in one word to have a result in the other, like ranging from, of course, puzzle to stealth mechanics also. Yes, so Marianne has some powers that you can use in a spirit world, and for example, you can create a spirit blast there to create an electricity in a normal world. And when we get to, for example, monster encounters, we also created like a dual version of it. Yes, so in a spirit world, you can defend yourself. You can use the same spirit blast that I mentioned, but this time you can fight off the monster. Say goodbye to Troy. But in a normal world, you have to outsmart him. Yeah? He's blind there, but you also can see it. Yeah, I'm referring to him as to Troy, but the monster is it. Of course.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool, man. But what you could tell us about the main character, because there's probably people that still haven't played this game and would like to know more about it. So what you could tell us about her?
So you play as Marianne. Yes, she's a medium, and she's more like an outcast. We like to say like she's a badass, but with really warm heart or big heart, because she is too alive for the ghost world and maybe a little too dead for the living world. So she's not part of any. So she needs to be tough to survive, like in our reality, where mostly nobody understands her. So she need to be tough, she need to be cynical. But when we play the game with her, we starting to understand why it's happening, and also that she's really good person that want to help people or help ghosts.
Yeah, I think as an outcast, torn between realities, and as Jacek said, never been part of any of those worlds. She needs something that she can attach to. She wants to do something good to find her place in these crazy worlds. So she helps other spirits to pass on. So we are often calling her like a spirit doctor sometimes, spirit psychiatrist. That's Marianne. Yeah, and she has been haunted by visions of a child murder. And during the game, you will try to solve this mystery.
Yeah. I have a couple of people that I know, and also me included. We will like call each other because we will get stuck in a certain puzzle in the game, right? And one of them, I was like, "Hey, man, you just got to read the items that you find in the game too, because it's a mystery game. So it's not like you just walk around and that's it. You finish the game. No, you have to take your time and read the items that you get, right?" So do you think that's the best advice? You think I gave a good advice to my friends that they're playing this game and are stuck? Do you think that's the right way?
Yeah, because you can, of course, finish the game and like this is it. Yeah, but when you try to go to every corner to find every item, to read everything, there you will have more knowledge about the story, more knowledge about the characters, that maybe some things can be more clear for you. Yeah, so. Yeah. Of course, this is better way. Yeah.
We at Bloober are trying to be a storytellers. So, in terms of the emphasis that we put during designing the game, we are putting everything on a story, and the medium is another example of this approach. Yes. So first we are working on the scenario, then designers and scriptwriters are turning this movie almost like a movie script into a game. Reading, licking all the walls and looking for additional clues. I think it pays off not only to find a solution to a puzzle, but to overall immerse into a world of our games.
Yeah. Another thing too, I feel like the music, by the way, super well done in this game. I love the music and I love the voice acting in this game. Like, how was the process on that too? Because I feel like you need to have the right voices for this type of game, so you could feel like the experience overall. So how was that with the music and voice acting?
So with the voices, of course, with the casting, of course, we have like really big problem because we want to have actors doing mock-up and face mock-up and voice recording even in the same time, but because of the virus, it was impossible. So for one character, it's like, several actors, like maybe two for movement.
Yeah, like, old games, yeah.
Yeah, other for face and maybe the same for a voice. So it was hard, yeah, and we do most of the mock-up remotely, yeah. So and with the voices, so we need to match the actors with their appearance of our face models. They're Polish actors, to have similarities in the face structure. So it was first problem, that we need to fight with it, and then find, of course, the voice, the voice of the character. And with the main character, with the Marianne, we seek and we thought, okay, maybe we have this, but we wasn't sure. And we work with the Omuk studio. They have studio in London and in LA. And we work with them the demo of the game that was, that we showing at the closed door at that time. And, we can find the voice, and then Mark Isdale, the chief of Omok, say, okay, I have one more idea. Maybe this will work, yeah? And he sent us, it was like crappy, video, yeah? It wasn't like really, because of the virus, etc., yeah? And we watched the actress, and we thought, yeah, like she's great. And we write to Mark, like this is, we will take her, yeah? And he said, yeah, it's the same actress that record for your demo, yeah?
So yeah, it was a destiny, yeah.
Yeah.
So her name is Kelly Berg. He did a great job, yeah. So yeah, thank you, Kelly. Congratulations.
And for the monster, because I don't want to spoil anything more about other characters, so I can also only talk about the monster.
Yeah.
We also really seek who can, fulfill our crazy idea how the monster should work. And then somebody in company say, okay, so maybe we should talk with Troy Baker, but not, for some male character or some protagonist. Maybe let's talk about being a monster, being antagonist. Mm-hmm. And we, meet him, show him the game, show him the idea for the monster, and he really like it. Then, because of the virus, we meet remotely, talk about how we perceive the monster, how it should works, yeah, with the voice and emotions, because the main, topic of the game is duality. So also the monster can be like, sometimes very sad, and in a split second, like aggressive nightmare that want to kill you. And we told this to Troy, and he said, okay, I will go to my booth and I will show you how I think we can do this, yeah. And he starts talking like, like
a psychopath.
Yeah, like a frightened little girl, and in a second, like he want to kill us, and we were blown away because each of us has this idea how this monster should be heard, yeah, and it was like perfect, yeah, like.
Yeah, first take, ghost bumps on our hands and say, okay, Troy.
Like, this is it, like, we will take you. Yeah, because we don't want to take, of course, Troy only because, like, he's recognizable and he voice acting in very large games, etc. No, we want to find really good voice, and, like, he was just perfect match. Like, it was a little crazy.
Yeah, he was, of course, interested in the project because of Akira Yamaoka. They were, playing together before. So for us it was a perfect match. And Troy is an amazing actor. Yeah, what he's doing with his vocal cords is crazy. It's just crazy. When he sent us, the recordings after the first session, our audio department told us, "Oh no, he must have been, pitching his voice or something," and we are saying, "No, he's doing this with his vocal cords," and they took the project, opened it, and said, shit, this is clear. Wow, he's crazy.
Yeah. So, everything you hear in the game, it's mostly pure Troy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, because a lot of studios will mix it down and add some special effects, and that's his actual voice. That's impressive. That's very impressive.
We've been blown away, really.
Yeah. So we only add some river or something, but we don't touch it anymore because it was just done. Yeah.
So if you will hear it, Troy, hands down.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So about the music, maybe Wojtek, you will say something more
about the music. All right, sure. Yeah, the music is also one of the best parts of the game. Yeah, so of course, working with Akira, it was, for us as a horror fans, as an ordinary, guys, it was like meeting a legend. So when I first heard that, okay, Wojtek, you will go to Tokyo, and after the work on the booth, and you will have to meet Akira Yamaoka at the restaurant and show him, the medium. I was, wow, it was like dream coming true. Yeah, so we were there with our boss, and I was sitting there. My hands were shaking, and I was hoping that Akira will like the game that we are showing. Showing him right now. And he watched our footage from the game. Put down the headphones and said, "Okay, guys, it's cool." Yeah,
I want to work on this game.
Yeah, and then we ended up, sitting in a pub, drinking beers and talking about music. So for me, it was like like a crazy trip. Yeah, it's surrealistic trip. Yeah, and then Akira came to Poland to kick off the project, and he met with our composer Arkadiusz Rejkowski, who is also very, very unique and very good emotional musician.
Yeah,
and they connect very easily because, of course, we are all fans here at Bloober of Akira's work, and they co-created this with duality in mind. Yes, Troy, was playing like two voices. Those two composers were composing from each of the world. So Akira Yamaoka is mostly responsible for the music of the spirit world, while Arek Rejkowski is mostly, responsible for the normal world music, to better create the vibe of these old grim Polish times. And when their skills connected and they prepared an adaptive music that connects with each other, it sometimes works as layers. And whoa, crazy. I love them, and I love the soundtrack they created for the game.
Without this soundtrack, the game will not pull off. We really aim to heavy atmosphere, to disturb you, to feel dread, and with their soundtrack we managed to do it as we as we really wanted. So really hands down for the both of the composers, because their work is awesome.
They create everything very emotional, sometimes ambient, sometimes very cinematic music for the cutscenes and for all those scenes, and even record some songs with Mary Elizabeth. I don't want to spoil, but there is a scene in the game when I can hear her singing. It's a very, very emotional and great moment, in my opinion.
Without good music and good use of silence, the horror game doesn't exist.
I totally agree. I think the music is phenomenal. I really enjoy it too, man. And like you said, it is part of the experience. But when is the right moment in the game to be silent? Because sometimes you need that too, like you said, right? So when is the right time for that? Because it's sometimes I feel like the mistake that a lot of companies do when they create a game is they put too much music and no silence. It could be scary without music, right? So
especially when you hear your own footsteps and some noises are moving from the background to and they are almost thrown at you, and you are more afraid. In our game, I think it's used, for example, when Marianne enters the hotel for the first time. There is a music during the cutscene, and she enters it, and it's almost silent. You can only hear her footsteps, in echo in the hallway, and you are getting nervous, because of that. And then something drops somewhere, and
in a slow moment, I think, so when you want to emphasize that the character is alone, that you're alone here, nobody helps you. If something happened, you're on your own. So this is one of the good use of silence, to emphasize that. And sometimes with the danger, but mostly music only helps because it puts you in the right tempo,
the right mood.
In the right mood. But the use of silence, it's mostly to emphasize the loneliness in some way.
It's also helps to build up the tension. Because we were making this mistake, I think, before in our games, throwing too much at the players sometimes, too much jump scares or too much, too fast music to pump you up. But after few minutes of pumping and pumping, you're okay. That's becomes even boring. So with Medium we try to build not only fear but trying to disturb our players, to slowly build the tension and then drop it, right? And surprise the players.
Was there anything now that the game just came out? Was there anything that surprised you online? Because as devs, the first thing you're gonna do, let me go on social media and see what people are saying about the game. Was there anything that surprised you while other people playing the game?
We also do now and before the premiere a lot of interviews, and some of them are with the people that finished the game. And what surprised, I think, the most, it was like the people really understand what we want to do. Like, we talk each other like for 4 years about everything in this game, and then somebody that doesn't know you, doesn't know the company, never be here, told you the same things, and then you have like, whoa, you really understand it. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
No, and I understand too, because when you have a concept, you're like, man, do you think other people are gonna get it, or are they gonna be lost completely? Yeah. So it could be very, very scary once the product is out there, So it's cool. It's really, really cool, man. Is the soundtrack available on like other places on streaming services to listen to? I really enjoy the soundtrack.
Yeah. I think it should be everywhere now, on every streaming, everywhere, on any streaming,
All right, cool.
I even heard some rumors about the physical releases, so fingers crossed. Yeah,
that sounds pretty cool too. Really, really cool. What was the game for you growing up that you were like, man, I wish I would like to make a game like this, of like a horror game from back in the days? Who wants to go first?
I can.
Sure.
Can I?
Sure.
Resident Evil 2.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, like this is the game that changed all my life. Like, I was maybe 10, 11 years old. I don't remember. Maybe even less than 10, maybe even 8.
Yeah.
And my cousin came with the PlayStation to my grandpa's house on the vacation, and like his mother said, yeah, there is some game, like some girl shooting to zombies, nothing scary, it's okay. And okay, yeah. And we need to play on the black and white TV, because my grandpa doesn't have anything other.
Yeah.
So my first contact, with Resident Evil 2 was on little black and white TV, and
Nice.
I was amazed. Like, from that time when we played this game, I love survival horrors. I love Resident Evil. I love zombies, and I love horror, like, in general. Yeah, I starting reading the books about voodoo, about monsters, about everything. I'm still not crazy because of it, yeah, but this is something that really changed everything, and in a way, it's one of the ingredients to where I am now.
Really, really cool.
Cool story. I've got to maybe not similar, because I'm also we are Bloober horror fans. I'm a big horror freak since I was a kid. When I go to and borrow the VHS movie Hellraiser.
Ooh, Hellraiser, yes.
Yeah, it was super scary. I was very young and very afraid of it, and and it started my love to horrors. And when I'm thinking about the game that had the most impact on me, it will be Silent Hill 2. So 2.
Yes, but great choices.
Second parts, yeah. For me, Silent Hill 2 is one of the best games ever made, because of its great atmosphere, music, and story. This is something really cool, like a psychological stuff. When I first played the game, I didn't understand it. Yeah, I was disturbed by the imaginary of the monsters there, of those feeling of this is something like an uncanny, disturbing. Yeah, when I grew up, I then understand the psychological point of this game, and I was even more flooded. Yeah, so this is something really, really crazy, great piece of art. Yeah, that inspired me forever.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're great choices, man. By the way, I'm gonna say a very quick story how I discovered you guys. So one day, they sent me a Steam machine. So they were like, oh, here, Danny, check it out. And I was like, it was around October. So I was like in the mood to play a scary game. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to Steam to see if I find something scary. And I found Layers of Fear. And I played it all night. I finished it that same night, I remember. Playing in the dark. I had headphones on and everything, right? And then I was like, okay, I get it. I get what they're trying to do, man. So then years later, Layers of Fear 2 came out, and also Blair Witch, and I just really enjoy your games, and especially this one too, because I like that you guys are trying to do new things, not just the usual first person. It's good to change up, I think. So I had a great time playing the game, and I can't wait for you guys to release more games in the future because we need these type of games, man. There's not enough. There's not enough out there, you know. So when I heard it was you guys, I was like, oh man, that's it. This is gonna be official. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be really, really good. So,
whoa, thank you.
Yeah.
You made us blush right now.
It's good. It's good. No, but congratulations. And for more information about the game, where the best player people could go.
More information about the game.
Yeah, about the Medium.
Yeah.
I think you should try our Twitter, for example, or the mediumthegame.com, I think.
Yeah, or even like Facebook page. Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Or like using internet.
Just search online. You'll find it.
I think just like the game now is really polarizing. Like a lot of people really love it. A lot of people really don't understand it, I think, or don't like it, and it's okay. So it's really good time to see for yourself, where you think you are.
Yeah, and I think right now, even you don't have to search too much. You just need to launch the Game Pass, and you can try the game.
I just want to
almost for free.
You just wait. Game Pass, play the game, and let's see.
Yeah, Game Pass to me is like it's like Netflix, man. I'm like, oh man, I just want to watch a good movie. Let me just download or stream this, and it's the same thing. I could just go and try out the Medium and just go from there. At least you try it out, right? So
yeah,
very cool. All right, man. But thank you so much for the interview. It was an honor to have you guys on, man. I'm a huge fan, man, and I can't wait for the future, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was also an honor for us. So awesome. Take care in these crazy times, and hope you too. Talk to you again in the future with the next scary. Thank you.
Thanks.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
All right, so we're back here, Gamertag Radio. Shout out to the Bloober Team for being on the podcast. That was a great conversation. I woke up really early for that interview because they're based in Poland. And one of the things that they mentioned in the interview that I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. They even mentioned, hey, man, there's people going to like our games, there's people that don't. But, hey, you could try it out on Game Pass. Like, they were saying that like that. I was like, oh, cool. They were promoting that a lot. So it was cool talking to them. And I mentioned to them that we need these type of games. I mentioned that in the interview, and they were like, yeah, man. Like, they got super excited, and it was really cool talking to them.
Yeah.
Good vibes. Anything else, guys, before we wrap it up on the podcast? Because the news has been
I'll say this, being Miss Leo, conspiracy theory.
Here it goes.
I think a lot of games are going to get delayed because it's just the world we're in right now with COVID, and obviously these dev teams are working from home. And I think Cyberpunk has probably scared some companies into, let's make sure we get this right before we put it out. Like, as an example, I think there's a reason we haven't heard a launch date for Ratchet & Clank. I think Ratchet & Clank gets delayed. Wouldn't shock me if it gets pushed back to like late spring, early summer, so to speak, right? It wouldn't shock me, and knock on wood, I don't want this to happen, if Horizon Forbidden West gets pushed into spring 2022 because of stuff like that. I think even whatever games Xbox potentially should have come out in 2020, 2021, you might see a couple slip into 2022. And that's why maybe you haven't heard about them yet either. You know what I mean? So it's just a reality we're in. I think we just need to accept it and not be upset if it happens. As an example, like look at Outriders. Outriders was supposed to come out last holiday, and now is that April? I think that got pushed to.
I think it's April.
Yeah, something like that. So you're going to start to see the cascading effect on down the line. I think where things get pushed back, because other than Outriders, I can't think of another big game that's coming out this spring.
Oh, that's just a surprise. Well, the Super Mario 3D World, but that's like a port.
Yeah, that's more of a port. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I can't think of anything else that's coming out. So I'm just mentally preparing myself for delays to happen, and just you got to understand why. I go, if you want these games to come out as bug free as possible, as polished as possible in the current world we're in, there's going to be delays. It's just a reality of where we are, I think.
Yeah, so the only games that from the PlayStation side is MLB The Show, which is also going to be on other platforms. Gran Turismo, we haven't heard anything about that either. And I think I mentioned this in Paris a couple of times, like, yo, they've been kind of quiet with Ratchet & Clank. Like, what's up with that? And he's like, yeah, it's going to get delayed. I think so too, man.
Yeah.
I think so too. From Xbox, I have no idea.
I don't think there are any.
I mean, we know Halo. I mean, we know.
No, there are.
Yo, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I know they posted a list of games coming out for 2021, but a lot of them is not first person. It's more like
AA,
third
indie
part,
stuff.
AA, yeah, indie stuff, and so that part, yeah. But AAA first party, that's like the end of the year.
I mean, think about it. Even as I'm thinking of Xbox right now, and I think this was on the list of games they said, Psychonauts 2. They ain't even put a date on that yet. You know what I'm saying? So I think that doesn't come until later this year as well. And I think this is just a reality of where we are. I mean, look, we know Halo's going to come, at the 20-year anniversary, but even that is a whole entire year delay to make sure that they get it right. So I'm like I said, I'm just mentally preparing myself that we're not going to get as many big AAA games this year as we might think. So again, support your indie titles because they're going to be important.
But here's the thing, though, Paris. This is based on first party titles I'm talking about. So if you push one game, you have to push a lot of other ones too. Because I think Psychonauts, like, when is the perfect time to release that? Unless they release it like during late summer, right before the big games come out at the end of the year.
I was actually going to say, I think a great time would be the summer for Psychonauts. Just give it room to breathe. There's nothing else it needs to compete with. Let it and that's still multi-platform. So that's going to be on PlayStation as well. And we already know it's going to be on PC too, but is it on? It's not on Switch, is it? I don't think it's on Switch.
No, PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to come on Switch.
Yeah. No.
Maybe in the future it'll come
Pretty
on.
But
sure.
like even think a game like Deathloop as an example that's coming from Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
No date yet. I'm not saying that'll get completely delayed out of the year. Is it?
It was May 21st, I think.
Oh, did they put a date on it? I thought there was no date.
Yeah, I have a list in front of me of games. I'm looking at May 21st.
Oh, hey, I'm wrong. All right, yeah, May 21st. Right.
Success.
Oh, I know what I'm thinking of. Is it Ghostwire Tokyo? Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that says October. They're saying October.
Is that
October
official?
too?
According to Google. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we'll see. Again, I ain't holding my breath.
We don't know anything.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. And this is also with the TV series, and I think I've been watching a lot of videos about WandaVision, and people were talking about like all the series that's coming out and movies coming out this year. One delay and it will mess up the whole plan. So if it's like that for Marvel, it's the same thing with games too, man. Like, when is the right time to release what? Like I think years ago, and I remember, Paris, we were at the was it the Windows party or the Xbox party at E3 Santa Monica, and we were talking with Shane Kim. He was the person in charge for all the games back in the days for the Xbox 360. And we asked him, like, is it a good idea to release so many games, different genres, the same, like during the same time of the holidays? Isn't that too much? And one thing he was saying is, no, there's going to be people that are just not into first-person shooters. There's people that are going to get into and buy JRPG games. There's some that, people like their type of games, their favorite genres. So could it be that Xbox will release a bunch of games, but they were like, hey, you don't have to buy it. It's all Game Pass, but we have everything. We have racing, we have RPG, we have shooters. Do you think that's in 2021 for you guys? Do you think that's a good way to release all these games close to the same time?
Well, I think the point of like what Shane Kim said back then still applies. As long as they're different genres, I think that's okay. You don't want an EA scenario where you're putting out Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1 all up against at the same time. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. But yeah, if you have, like, as an example, if a Psychonauts came out around the same time as a Forza Horizon 5 and a Halo Infinite, I think that's okay. Because not everyone is going to want to play each genre. So there's something for everyone there.
Mm-hmm. By the way, before we wrap it up, Harris, I was curious. I was just, browsing Google, and your name popped up.
Oh my God. I love how he's putting me on the spot. I have no idea what he's going to say.
You said, all right, so the Reddit was saying that you talked about, I think it was on S-Cast, about Banjo-Kazooie, like you teased it. What was it? I haven't listened to the episode, so I don't know what was it that you said, but it was there. I don't know. I'm asking you, what was that about? Because we're doing this live on the show.
I love how you put me on the spot. You literally put me on the spot. No. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And this has just been a running joke that we've had forever. I said on Xcast as well that I want Banjo-Kazooie. That's all it is. I want them to come out with a true platforming Banjo-Kazooie. And then I saw on Twitter that, is it, how you say their name? The developer, the ukulele developer? Platonic or something like that. Platonic, someone was saying that they had an announcement coming soon, and I just did the eyeball emojis. That's it. That is all I did. And it got picked up on Reddit that I was saying that I was rumored that they were going to do Banjo-Kazooie. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say that at all, but it's just funny. That's all it was.
Wait, wasn't that the people that worked on Super Lucky Tales?
No, they did right? Ukulele.
Ukulele, okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait, what's the name of the developers that made Super Lucky Tail? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a different developer, but those are the original. That's the original team that made Banjo-Kazooie. It's the same team. So the rumor, and I have zero insight on this, is that Microsoft gets them to make a proper Banjo-Kazooie game, but that's all. No one knows that as a fact.
That's Danny. You're thinking of Playful.
Playful. There you go. Yeah, because sounded familiar, the same name. All right, cool. All right, I just want to do that, man. Just throw those random questions at Paris because I saw it on Reddit. So hey, let me ask.
All he's got to do is look to the side, and he's. It's official. It's an official Reddit. It's an official Reddit theory when Paris gives the eyes emojis.
Yeah. Now he has to be careful when he posts on Twitter, man. They get picked up in news everywhere.
Yeah,
it's so funny. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thank you for listening to episode 1100 here. I can't believe it still, man. That's crazy. Head over to gamertagradio.com and listen to our past episodes. And you also can find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio. Make sure to subscribe and post a review. It will help us out big time. And also, if you'd like to be part of our fan mail segment or episode, send us questions. Let's go. Here's how you could contact us. It's early morning.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, until next time, thank you for listening to Gamertag Radio. I'm out. And Paris and P are out too. Peace. All right.
This is the most awkward ending to a cut.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.